You say it's your birthday. Do 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 do. It's my birthday too. Dear, near, 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 near. Okay, welcome to my channel. If this is your first time here, hi, I'm Pearl. Today is my birthday and I'm 40 freaking 9. I feel like I'm in the body of a 55-year-old. I jacked up my knee skateboarding with my kids. My brain feels like I'm like 27. So at the end of this video, I'm going to be doing a giveaway. So stay tuned, and all the requirements for the video for the giveaway will be listed down below. But let's go ahead and get started. I just wanted to do a chit chat, get ready with me, have you guys get to know me a little bit, and that's it. So far I have my skincare on and sunblock. I'm gonna start with my tried and true all-nighter face primer. This is a face primer that works great for me with most foundations because I have oily skin. So if you're new here, hi. I have the oiliest skin on the planet. So oily. I thought as you got older you were supposed to get drier, but that has not been the case for me. I've always been oily. So I'm gonna let that set in a little bit. So I started my YouTube channel a year ago and it's been slow going. I haven't been able to focus on it the way I wanted to because my kids are now, I have 4 kids. They're all at home doing online schooling. So there is not one thing I do where I don't get interrupted. I get interrupted while I'm sleeping, I get interrupted while I'm recording, I get interrupted while I'm editing, doing voiceovers because I have another YouTube channel as well. Okay, I'm gonna spray my face with the Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. And the reason I do that is for certain foundations, I find that it adheres better and longer to my skin when I have that setting spray on, because I do have such oily skin. Okay, how did I get into makeup? You know, I've been obsessed with makeup and skincare, and I'm using my Pat McGrath LM14. I've been obsessed with makeup for as long as I can remember. Now, I was born in Korea, moved to Canada when I was 1, so both my brothers were born there, but I didn't learn to speak English until I went to 1st grade. And when I was in 1st grade, I was paired up with a girl who understood Korean but didn't speak Korean, and she's still one of my good friends to this day. So when I say English is my second language, I'm not lying. So I've been obsessed with makeup as long as I can remember, and I think it started with my aunts, my dad's sister. He has 4 sisters, or had 4 sisters I should say, and they're all into skincare and beauty. And I remember when I used to go visit them in Korea, or when they would come visit us in the States, I mean, skincare was a high priority. Okay, I'm gonna put the Pat McGrath concealers on. I have L5 for under my eyes, and then LM14 for my areas of hyperpigmentation. Okay, so I remember, you know how nowadays you put essence on your face and you pat it onto your face? My family's been doing that since day 1. I mean, that's all I know of how they put on their skincare. And my aunts looked so great for their age. I'm serious. Even my cousin, he worked in the cosmetic industry in Korea, and when I went to go see them a couple years ago, he looked so good. I was like, what is your secret? Yeah, so my family looks young. Even my mom, before she passed away, she had great skin. Great skin. Okay, so that's how I got introduced to beauty. I mean, that's all I knew. My mom always made me wear hats. She hated it when I would go to the beach, and I did surf a lot, and that's probably where some of this skin damage comes from, because I used to be in the sun all the time. I'm not a sun worshiper in the aspect where I would just go and lay out, but if I was in the sun, I was doing something. A lot of snowboarding, so I would look like a raccoon, surfing. I mean, I was a dark kid. Right now is the lightest I've ever been, I think. You know what, I'm gonna put my hair back. I think this is the lightest I've ever been. Okay, I'm gonna use the Pat McGrath Skin Fetish Sublime Perfection Blurring Under Eye Primer. I use the light under my eyes, and I use the medium all over my face. So we moved to LA when I was 5, and I went to a small Christian school there. That's where I learned to speak English and all that good stuff. But I was always into makeup. My mom didn't wear much makeup, but what she did wear, I was always into. So we moved to Michigan because my dad, I say he went through a midlife crisis, decided to go to grad school in Michigan. So we all moved there. And I started working my first job when I was 14. I picked weeds at a nursery for $2.85 an hour. Can you imagine anyone picking weeds all day for $2.85 an hour? That's child abuse. And it was part of a work-study program, so they didn't have to pay us minimum wage, and 75% of our earnings would go into our school tuition. So I did that for 2 years, and I would save the little money I got myself, and the first makeup product I purchased when I was 14 was a Clinique lipstick. Remember when Clinique was really big? Does anyone remember? Is it just me? Okay, I'm using my Hourglass Arch in warm brunette here. So I remember saving all my money to buy makeup. That's where I spent majority of my money. Yes, I saved my money to buy clothes too, but it was more makeup. And I felt like makeup was more accessible because it wasn't as expensive as designer clothes. You know what I'm saying? So I was always into wearing makeup, but my mom wouldn't let me wear it because I grew up in a very conservative home. My dad is a minister, a retired minister now, but we grew up super conservative, very strict household. Ask any of my friends. I was never allowed to sleep over at anyone's house. For study groups and stuff, everyone had to come to our house. So I grew up in a very strict home. So I'm a pastor's kid, which is PK, which is also my initials because my maiden name is Kim. And I have friends who still call me PK. I don't think that'll ever go away. And so I've always been into makeup. I remember once I started making money, I'm using the Chantecaille Full Brow Perfecting Gel and Tint. I remember when I started making money, I was always at the makeup counter. I was so much at the makeup counters that the beauty consultants behind the counter would call me when things would come in. And the gal that worked at Bobbi Brown became a friend of mine, and she did my wedding, and we're still friends to this day. So the brands that I was really into growing up, well, this is once I started making money, so I was an adult. So what, 30 years ago? I'm gonna go in with my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Bronzer. I was really into Bobbi Brown, Shiseido, Trish McEvoy, things that they sold at like Neiman Marcus counters, because that's where I used to do a lot of my shopping. Neiman Marcus and Nordstrom's when I started making money. And I bought a lot of makeup. Yeah, I was there all the time at the counters. Even if I didn't buy anything, I would go and say hi and see what the newest products were and see what I needed to save my money for. I'm going in with the Natasha Denona I Need a New Highlighter. So I've always been into makeup. So once I started working and I could buy my own makeup, of course, I did more of that. And every time I would go to the mall, if I didn't find something to buy, I would always buy a lipstick or, you know, retail therapy. Does anybody else do that? Or did that? Nowadays, I can go to the mall, well, before quarantine, and come back empty-handed if I was just going window shopping. But back then, I couldn't do that. And I grew up so poor that I can't imagine. I mean, I was so thrilled to be able to buy products that I would just buy because I could buy. You know what I'm saying? Did anybody else have that? Okay, I'm going in with the Gucci Holiday Blush. So I was always a collector of makeup and trying new things. Going into doing YouTube videos is not that big of a leap for me, except being in front of a camera. Because I don't know how to be in front of a camera. With one of my jobs, I used to do a lot of speaking. So I guess in that aspect, I'm used to being in front of people. I'm going in with the Pat McGrath Mothership Mega Celestial Divinity palette. I'm gonna go into this pink shade here, one of the mattes, and I'm gonna use that as my transition shade. So I did used to do a lot of speaking engagements as a consultant. I worked conventions to talk about Medicare. Oh, by the way, if you didn't know, I'm a nurse by background, and then I went back to school and got my MBA to become a consultant. So I was a healthcare consultant working in revenue cycle and clinical care. So I was fortunate enough to have business background and a clinical background. So I was lucky that I didn't have to look for projects. They came looking for me when I was a consultant. I worked for Capgemini, Ernst & Young. You guys might know of Ernst & Young. They're an accounting firm. Right before I started with them, they sold their healthcare wing to Capgemini, which is a French company, and we merged. And so that's who I worked for 3 years. I'm going to go into this color right here, and I'm going to use that on the outer V of my eye. So I did that for 3 years. And when I was doing that, I was still makeup shopping, of course, right? And then when I quit that, I met my husband, we got married. I feel like I need a flat shader brush for this. Let's see. I'm going in with my Fenty brush and I'm gonna go back into this color right here. After we got married, I started working as a nursing administrator. Did that for a while. Then I got pregnant and couldn't see because one of my symptoms of being pregnant was I had blurry vision. So if the frame changed, it's because I had to change my battery. Okay, now I'm gonna go into this shade right here and I'm gonna put that on the inner corner of my lid using the other side of the brush. Oh, I couldn't work because I had blurry vision with my pregnancies. So I stopped working until now. Now I'm trying to make this into a job. So you'll notice if you've been with me for a little while, I try to upload 6 days a week, I think, because I really want this to work for me as a job now that my kids are in school. But I was hampered on charging this work because my kids are at home instead of physical school. So I get interrupted a lot, which is fine. I'm here at home because of them. So I'm fine with that. It's just, I get interrupted. For example, I thought I ordered the Dior holiday collection and guess what? I never pressed purchase. I was wondering why it wasn't coming in. Okay, I'm gonna line my upper waterline with Pat McGrath Extreme Black. I'm gonna line my lower outer third with Bourbon, the 24/7 by Urban Decay. Just a little bit because I don't have eyelashes in my outer lower quad. And then I'm just gonna go in with my Surratt eyelash curler. So when I used to do makeup back then, it was always trying to get the best no makeup look, even though I loved and I still purchased fun makeup. But I wouldn't really wear that out because I was always raised, you know, to look natural and look your best. So I always did the no makeup look. But I've always liked fun makeup. So I'm using this as a time for me to play and have fun because you know what? Life's too short. I will say I still do prefer the no makeup look, but now that I'm doing YouTube, it's giving me a great excuse to venture outside of my comfort zone and try new things. Like before, I wouldn't have gone out with this eye look, which is fun. And I do like that it's not as in your face. I know Pat McGrath is more in your face kind of a look, but I just want something a little more subdued. Subdued for her, more for me. If that makes sense. So for my lips, I'm gonna use my Lisa Eldridge lipstick in Love of My Life, fun pink shade. And on top of it, I'm going to use the Gloss Beauty from Lisa Eldridge. I just recently reviewed all of this. I'll have that linked right up here if you're interested. But I think this is a fun lipstick combo. Okay, so there's my makeup look for today. The kids and I are gonna go shopping, because I don't get to go shopping for myself very much. Usually I just go to the mall to pick up things for this YouTube channel or if the kids need something unexpectedly. So there you have it, my makeup look for my 49th birthday. Okay, so the giveaway. I am going to be giving away a brand new Pat McGrath Mega Mothership Celestial Divinity palette. This one is mine. I have a brand new one over there waiting for one of you winners. I'm also going to be giving away a brand new lipstick by Lisa Eldridge, Love of My Life. It's the one I have on, as well as the Gloss in Beauty. These are the 3 things that you're going to be winning. I will put one of these in her little makeup bag that looks like this. So this will be coming to a winner as well. So there you have it. So what do you need to do to enter? All you need to do is subscribe to my channel. Make sure you have that notification bell on. Go follow me on Instagram. Make sure you're over 18. And let me know in the comments down below, what is your goal for this year? For me, I've gained some weight since I lost my mother, so I'd like to be at my fighting weight by the time I turn 50. So hopefully you'll see my face go, because I've gained some weight. So that is my goal. I like to focus on one thing at a time. I can't do too many things. I used to be a great multitasker, but I'm not anymore. So let me know what one of your goals is for the year. Okay, thank you so much for joining me on my birthday. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time.